So in my book, Less Prep, More Pep, there's a section in the back towards the end where I talk about the importance of asking your own questions in interviews. Like instead of you looking up top 10 questions to ask in an interview or feeling that pressure to just absolutely have to have a question in an interview, because sometimes you don't have to have questions in an interview. Like if everything, a really good interview is going to help you answer a lot of questions. It's going to feel like a conversation. So you might already get your questions answered in the interview, but sometimes you still might have more. But what I tell people is to make sure that they have their own questions that are going to be beneficial to them to help them decide if that role is going to be good for them, if they're going to be happy there, if that place has enough work to keep them there, or just whatever they're looking for in their career at that time. And so, a story I'm going to talk to you about is last year I was coaching someone on interviews and giving them advice and helping them feel, more comfortable and confident in their interviews. And what happened was they ended up getting two offers at the time. And so they were working with me trying to decide which one they wanted, but they ended up going, selecting one that they wanted to go with. And so a couple months had passed by, I think like 8 months had passed by, and we ended up catching up. And so I asked her how it was going and how she liked it. And I personally noticed like she usually has this glow, happy, fun, bubbly type thing to herself. And she kind of looked a little exhausted. And so she's talking to me and she's like, this team is always busy. There's a lot of offsites and travel involved. And so I'm constantly nonstop booking stuff, booking events, catering. This is happening, that is happening. It's nonstop. And I think they had even hired in help for her too, like a agency temp, but I think two she mentioned, but there was a lot of work having to be done. And I knew that, her being a mom as well as having personal like family stuff going on, it was like a lot on her. And so she's telling me like I have all this stuff going on at home. And then plus I have she had aspirations to want to grow into another role, like a higher level. And she's like, I don't even have time to do stuff like that, to train or mentor and talk to people about how to go up to the next level because I'm so overwhelmed with this stuff that's happening, plus in her personal life. And so I was talking to her about it, and I'm like, you know what? But this is good feedback for yourself. You're getting to know what you like or what you want or where you're at in life. And so if you start to step out and go look for another role, now like this is something you need to write down, that you need to know the workload that you're accepting, like the time commitment and how much traveling or offsites that they're doing. Like this is something you're going to ask now. Like this is something that you wish you had known before you accepted the role because you might have took something else or stayed in your old role. And so it's like, don't feel bad about it. This is a learning experience. But now when you go into interviews and they say, do you have any questions at the end? All of your questions are going to be carefully crafted around this. So you understand your workload, your work-life balance, and that maybe you're able to have more days where you work from home so you can handle all the personal issues. But I'm like, use it as a learning experience. Remember this, write it down, write down the feeling, how you feel of being exhausted and overwhelmed or not having time or having to come into the office for all this stuff because you have all these on-site projects. Whereas if you had a different kind of team that didn't do that stuff, you could probably work from home more. So like that's just feedback. And that's something I learned too when I used it in my excuse about the training. When I said I left for a team and found out they didn't support training or have a lot of new tools for me to use. And I didn't think to ask that. But now I know anywhere I go, I'm going to ask like, hey, do you have this? But I'm like, use this as information. You now know what to ask, what you're looking for, and where you're at in life, and what's going to make you happy and what's going to keep you there. So that's what I talk about in Less Prep, More Pep. You can find the book at Amazon or at our website, lessprepmorepep.com. But I offer a lot of different tools from workbooks to digital downloads or an audio series to help you feel more confident and prepare for interviews and show up as yourself and show you that you don't need to show up scripted, robotic, or spend hours and days doing prep for interviews. Again, less prep, more pep does not mean no prep. It just means strategic prep. So you're able to get your time back and relax and just have a conversation with someone and find out if this is a good fit for you too.